The hip joint is back, and I know it's been a while since my last video, and I want to start by thanking everyone who has stuck it out, and all the new subscribers that have joined since my hiatus.
You won't send me any spam, will you?
Life got busy, and the channel had to take a back seat. Not because I didn't want to, I still love Futurama, and I'm really excited about the future of this channel.
My name is Philip J.
And secondly, instead of continuing the breakdowns of the new season, I've decided to go back to Season 2 and continue from there. And when I say Season 2, that's going to be the Hulu order of seasons instead of the production order. This will make more sense to any new fans of Futurama coming to my channel, and as far as all of you old fans like me, you're just going to have to accept it.
I deserve free money!
Now, with all that out of the way, let's get back to breaking down episodes of everyone's favorite delivery crew.
We're back, baby!
Starting with Season 2, Episode 5, I Second That Emotion. Technically, I've already done the first 4 episodes of the season when I did the breakdowns of Season 1. Which you should definitely go watch after you're done with this video.
Hey!
Now the episode begins with another in-show commercial. This one being for Glagnar's Human Rinds.
It's a buncha muncha cruncha humans.
A tasty treat for all species. Except maybe humans. The opening tag in this episode says, made from meat byproducts. So all the throwaway pieces like you'd find in Nibbler's breakfast. Just don't throw away that like for this video. And the opening cartoon for this one is a 1942 Looney Tunes classic, Fresh Hair. Welcome to the Hip Joint, where Futurama fans get in free. This episode is centered around Bender's lack of empathy,
You one-eyed jerk with a dead pet.
Leela's unhealthy obsession with Nibbler, and Fry just being Fry.
Have you seen my sombrero?
We also get introduced to the sewer mutants, a group of second-class citizens who, you guessed it, live in the sewers. The trip to the sewers is a result of Bender flushing Nibbler down the toilet when he starts getting a little more attention than Bender thinks he deserves. With lots of references and funny moments, this episode ranks pretty high for me among not only Season 2 episodes, but the show as a whole. So, let's get started with the opening scene of Nibbler being called to breakfast with the whir of this industrial-sized can opener. A hearty breakfast of kibbles and snouts.
Aw, somebody likes snouts. Is it me?
An off-brand of the Kibbles and Bits dog food.
We're gonna get us some kibbles and bits.
Now it's here that the canon event of the episode takes place, when Bender walks a little too close to the can opener and is sucked up and nearly decapitated.
My head! My precious head!
After this brush with death, it's only after he reaches up and opens his head that we see the damage done. We also get a reference to Bender's father, who met his end to one of these death traps.
You killed my father and now you've come back for me!
This workplace accident leads to Bender threatening Nibbler, followed by an assault to Bender's shiny metal ass.
Ow! My ass! Get off! Get off!
One of the only times in the show that someone takes Bender up on his famous catchphrase.
Bite my shiny metal!
Stop! You can't say the next word!
This little incident breaks Nibbler's tooth.
Hey, I got a busted ass here. I don't see anyone kissing it.
All right, I'm coming.
Prompting a trip to the neighborhood animal clinic that has a sign out front for the debugging of virtual pets. In the waiting room of the clinic, we see this mysterious pet/owner that makes an appearance in a later episode. The veterinarian Jeffrey Grant makes his first appearance.
Next!
And as good of a doctor as this man seems, which, I'll be honest, isn't a very good one, he claims Nibbler to be 5 after counting the rings inside his tooth, comparing him to the common tree.
Yeah, well, good luck. It'd take some kind of genius to count all those rings.
He's 5.
Leela decides to take this opportunity of knowing how old Nibbler is to throw him a birthday party.
No, he's wearing a hat!
And our lovable robot doesn't really enjoy sharing the limelight, as he tries to take over the party by being the best, at cheating in a game of pin the tail on the slug, that is.
Yeah, and the crowd goes wild!
And going into this Harlem Globetrotter-style routine, theme song and all. After singing Nibbler a copyright-free version of Happy Birthday,
And you smell like 1, 2.
Bender is sent off to make a birthday cake for Nibbler. And while making the cake, we get a little misdirect when Bender pulls out this rat poison, making us think he's going to poison the cake. But he's just using it to help get rid of the rats.
That'll take care of those annoying rats.
even though the future already took care of the rat problem by introducing owls.
We're owl exterminators.
Instead, Bender's claim to fame for the night is to create the greatest birthday cake ever. And if my years of growing up in a cake shop watching my mom whip up some awesome multi-tiered cakes taught me anything, I think Bender has done an amazing job.
This'll teach those filthy bastards who's lovable.
But you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I thought Bender was a terrible cook.
Oh, dear God!
How can he make a good cake? And the answer to that lies in the fact that baking is mostly following instructions, something a robot should be very good at. Plus the fact that for this episode, Bender has an easy bake oven in his chest cavity. No, the real skill comes from how masterfully he decorates the cake. And he's a robot, so of course he'd be amazing at it. My only question is what other dairy substance is in this carton of third and third and third? Unfortunately, no one else is going to get to enjoy the beauty of this birthday cake, because Nibbler comes in and wolfs it down the way he does everything else.
Aw, somebody likes snouts.
Is it me?
And this is the last straw for Bender.
That's it.
So he decides it's time for Nibbler to go. And to go, he means down the toilet.
Happy birthday!
And this is very upsetting to Leela,
No!
Hey, can't you see I'm using the toilet?
but it gives the professor another one of his amazing ideas.
Uh-oh. Is this gonna be another crazy experiment that crosses a line man was not meant to cross?
It's while installing Bender's empathy chip, the professor drops this line that is going into this episode's vote for best moment.
Hey, what the hell are you doing with my head?
I need to tinker in it.
Why don't you just use a potted plant like Fry?
Quiet, you.
And this is just the start of many great jokes moving forward, because after the chip is installed and the professor is calibrating it, we get this.
Now I'm worried that I'm not as smart as Leela, but at the same time, I feel relieved that I'm cuter than her.
That's me.
Thanks for covering.
And while Bender is suffering the cruel fate of feeling all of Leela's emotions, there's this moment from Fry.
The only reason you get all the guys is because you dress like a tramp.
They're just responding to my personality.
And Bender can't handle the pain of losing Nibbler. Well, Leela can't handle the pain, and Bender's tired of dealing with it. So after Fry mentions the old myth that the pets who were flushed into the sewers of New York survived,
My friend's cousin's caseworker saw one once.
Bender gets the idea to flush himself down the toilet to go save him.
What are those humans designed us for anyway?
And then Fry drops this great line when he catches Bender in the act.
Bender? Have you seen my sombrero?
Leela decides they should go into the sewers to find Bender,
Ladies first.
but is warned of the existence of the sewer mutants,
They're hideous.
which she dismisses as an urban legend, even though they were mentioned in episode 3's I, Roommate.
You could live underground with the mutants. A little fire'll show 'em who's boss.
On their way into the sewers, they remove this manhole cover with a logo for the PJs on it. And I'd be curious of how many of you watched that show, or even know of its existence.
So we need a plan. And another round. Another round?
Down in the sewer, Fry has this great line that I'm also putting into the vote for best moment.
What is it?
I burned my finger.
And wouldn't you know it, the mutants are real.
Mutants!
And the three main ones we meet are Violet,
Thanks, handsome.
Dwayne,
I said harmless, not armless.
and Raoul.
I have 3 arms.
These friendly mutants give our crew a tour of their underground home, including their church where they worship an unexploded bomb, which is a reference to the 1970 film Beneath the Planet of the Apes. But, as Violet explains,
Nobody's that observant. It's mainly a Christmas and Easter thing.
Fry again mentions the urban legend of alligators surviving in the sewers of New York, one that Violet dismisses.
Then what are those?
Crocodiles.
But then Dwayne breaks into song explaining the legend of the El Chupanibre, which is a reference to the Chupacabra, a Central and North American legend of a goat-sucking demon. One of the more fascinating background details in this episode is the appearance of these two characters that show up during Dwayne's musical number.
He'll eat you whole and half your alligator.
Crocodile.
Whatever.
And it's hard to decide how much to say about these two, just in case there are any new fans of the show who maybe haven't made it that far. So let's not spoil the surprise. The tale of the Chupanibre makes Leela think that this urban legend might just be Nibbler.
Happy birthday!
And this doesn't sit too well with the habitants of the sewers. So in the style of many old monster movies like King Kong, they decide they need to offer the Chupanibre a sacrifice
And rip her shirt a little.
of an unspoiled virgin that Leela volunteers for.
Nice try, Leela, but we've all seen Zab Brannigan's webpage.
Oh, I made myself feel bad.
Luckily, this offering works as the Chupanibre approaches. And wouldn't you know it, it's Nibbler. And boy is Bender happy to see him.
Nibbler!
Until we find out that he's not actually the Chupanibre.
That's El Chupanibre.
It's this horrible looking monster. And Fry's quick thinking, which is quite rare, tells Leela the only way to save Nibbler is to stop caring so much about him so Bender's empathy chip can allow him to defeat the monster.
Bender, do something.
I'm too scared.
Fry, of course, has to shoot his shot when he hears Leela say this.
I can't. I love every living creature.
Even me?
As a friend.
Damn.
I don't understand why Nibbler doesn't just eat the Chupanibre. We've seen him eat creatures as big as this guy before, so it shouldn't be a problem. But it's Bender who saves the day when he teaches Leela how to be a bit more selfish like him,
The secret is to stop giving a rat's ass about anyone else.
so he can use that selfishness to save everyone from this horrible monster, which doesn't get off to the best start, as his arms are immediately ripped off. But, like we learned in episode 1, Bender's arms can move freely and seemingly of their own volition,
I don't know how you did that.
and they all three work as a team to knock this Chupanibre into the giant sewer toilet and send him down to the sub-sewers. And the episode ends with Leela having learned a very valuable lesson, and I just love how Leela makes her exit at the end of the episode, this being my final entry into the vote for best moment.
I think I actually learned something from him. So long, jerkwads.
So long.
I really enjoy this episode, introducing us to the sewer mutants, who make multiple appearances, some fun background details, and plenty of great jokes.
And I still barely felt anything.
But the only thing left to do is vote for the best moment of the episode. Will it be the professor's specific choice of words?
What are you doing with my head?
I need to tinker in it.
Why don't you just use a potted plant like Fry?
Quiet, you.
Fry burning himself?
What is it?
I burned my finger.
Or Leela's grand exit?
You know, Bender may not have learned anything from me, but I think I actually learned something from him. So long, jerkwads.
So long.
Vote for your favorite moment down in the comments, or let me know what moment of the episode you like best. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.